No, guys, you don't get it. This is two absolutely different games. They may look similar, but you just need to look deeper. Where one game is all depressing and grim, even the main hero is just some darkness in a cloak. And every bug you meet is either dead or lost his mind. But the other one is colorful and bright. There's nothing wrong with Farlum. The knight is much more rigid and rely heavily on a good positioning and fast reflexes. And Hornet got so much shit in her belt, she can bring Batman to shame. Where the knight heal is slow and steady, Hornet just pumps this shit in bulk. Even in trailers you see that knight needs to descend to a vast ruined world. But in Silksong you need to ascend to the peak of haunted kingdom. But really, this is much more than just overhyped game. Right from the very first screenshot, from the very first trailers, I was expecting it to be absolutely amazing. But even like that, I got much more than I was hoping for. The story, the visuals, the gameplay, everything is perfect.
Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
And I don't need to tell you how meaningful this game for players, especially in the world of shitty quadruple A games.
I'll trust you to know what awaits you should you fail. Down then!
Silksong is like a breath of fresh air. It doesn't cost you arm and leg to buy, you receive the complete game with all of it being intact. I mean, no paid DLC for main story, no microtransaction, no battle passes, nothing. It's just a really good game. And you know what's the most outrageous thing is? It just works.
It's not, I'm not kidding.
No need for day one patch or some heavy machinery to play it. Hell, I started on my HP 430 and this thing is already 10 years old. In human years it's like 100 or something. And it still looks amazing. So what about the story, right? Well, it's quite interesting, you see? Because it's the main drive for you to finish the game. But at the same time, just like in the first one, most of the story is pretty much optional. You can finish the game without diving deep into its lore, but honestly that will be your loss. The lore of Farlum is deep and I would advise you to check her out. Who knows, you might solve the mystery or rewrite history. Especially since this time you got so much more bugs to interact with. Unlike Hollow Nest, this world is booming with life, and not only aggressive one. Some bugs are holding shops, some just chilling around, and some will give you quests, which are for some reasons called wishes this time. So you could be a good Santa Claus granting everyone their wishes, or you could add them to a naughty list and give them a middle finger. Granting said wishes will give you some small rewards, and sometimes not so small. But mostly I did them just to get more dialogue from friendly bugs. Anyway, you play as Hornet, whom you might recognize from the first game, where she helped you to defeat the Radiants, or at least to get inside it.
Yeah, boy.
Hornet is being abducted and transported to Farlum's Citadel. At one point she decided she had enough and shows how strong and independent she could be. And from here on, your main goal is to get answers on why were you abducted, and preferably stop this nonsense from happening in the future. The graphics of this game are overwhelmingly good. You do not expect this level of visuals from a 2D game, especially since this time the world is much more vibrant. Unlike the first game, where every new area was some variation of grey or blue, this time we have very bright and colorful scenery. Moss Grotto is filled with greenery and moss. The Citadel is grand and epic, and heat from arrow is so intense I can almost feel it. Huh, or maybe it's my PC while I edit this video. Not to say that the first game was all two-toned and not interesting, but again, this game is completely different in visual department. The Hollow Nest was already dead world, with a glimpse of life still persisting here and there. Farlum is a very lively place. Where in Hollow Nest almost every bug is already succumbed to the Radiance, and only a small portions manage to save their mind, in Farlum you get to meet tons and tons of lively bugs with a hope in their eyes for their pilgrimage to Citadel. Speaking of which, the design of bugs is pretty impressive as well. Characters are distinct and do have their defining characteristics, which helps you to identify them once they occur. I can say the same about the first game, but I give credit where the credit is due. Especially this new map girl. Unlike the bug from the first game, who hums his song under his nose, this one sings from the top of her lungs. And I do consider this song some kind of Stockholm Syndrome, because at first I was just like, oh, it's okay. Nothing special, just okay. But then I started to hate it, and I hated it with passion. You know, it's this special kind of hate, when you actually hate it so much that you need to listen to it again and again and again and again, just to prove it to yourself that you actually hate it.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
And at some point you just start to think, hey, maybe it's not that bad. Actually, it's pretty good. Amazing, I would say. Damn, this song is stuck in my mind now. And in general, Silksong got the same composer for its soundtrack as the previous one. So you know that the music is mind-blowingly good. Huh, interesting. This is the second game of this year with such an amazing soundtrack. Last one was, something about baguettes. But I can sing praises for this game for a long time.
Me love you long time.
Level design, music, bosses, I find this game perfect. And I'm clearly not the only one. But there is also a surprising amount of people hating on it. But why? I think people find this game hard. But again, why? I didn't have any issues with it. Well, at least it wasn't harder than Hollow Knight. And for the most time, I was actually thinking that this one is easier than the first game. I mean, it's not an easy game, but it's nothing like Path of Pain. So, what is that so many people find so hard about this one? And most of all, double damage. Specifically, that Hollow Knight did not have double damage so early in the game. Well, that's bullshit. What else do you get?
My perspective on this is that if they had wanted to give us 3 hit points, give us 3 hit points. Why hide it behind the illusion that we have 5?
Because beside bosses, we also have regular bugs, which if you would also die from with 3 hits, I think most people wouldn't be able to get out of the tutorial area. Okay, what else I got? Ah yes, beside damage boost, there are a lot of complaints regarding enemy design. They are too fast, there are too many ranged attacks, they fly? Yeah, okay, this one I can get behind, fuck them flying cunts. But honestly, are you kidding? Have you seen all the kit you got at your disposal? First of all, you can jump and swing, but there are also multiple tools, spells, even different weapons you can change. Just throw some shit into your enemies. I mean, yes, Hornet is not as rigid as Knight and will die easier, but you are much more faster and you have much more abilities than Knight, so enemies should be on par with your abilities. That is why pretty much all enemies are so mobile and have so many ranged attacks. And if you still don't see it, I don't know what else to say. A lot of people was complaining that everything in the game costs too much. New charm? Too expensive. New tool? Too expensive. New bench? You guessed it, too expensive. I mean, really? Usually I got a few thousands of those and I don't know where to spend them just because I already bought everything and there are no new merchants. And I mean, I didn't grind or anything, I was just exploring map and get all of them by self-defense.
Officer, I drop-kicked that child in self-defense.
And even if you lose all your bits, why do you need so many of them? Bench is just 80 bits for one-time purchase. It's not like you need to give Bench Plus subscription to use it in the future. Oh yeah, people also complain about bosses' design. And I don't mean how they look, more like in the way they fight. And in this case, again, I'll revert back to Hollow Knight. I love this game immensely, but second half of it becomes a little too much, exactly because of bosses' design. There are challenging yes, but almost all of them are a little overtuned. Let's say turn to 11. Not that they are too fast or too powerful, it's more like you start a fight with a boss who got 4 to 5 attacks. And while you try to memorize them, you can pay attention to only so much shit on the screen at once. And this is exactly where some sneak attack would be initiated. Almost all bosses have 1 attack too many. And in Silksong, I didn't notice that. Perhaps it's not there. Or perhaps I played Hollow Knight for 7 years. Well, I'm not reading all of that. But basically, all complaints are the same. I wouldn't say I don't understand or agree with some of them. But my point is, have you even tried the first game before buying this one? Not that it is necessary. Even more so, you can completely skip the first game and still have a blast with this one. Because most of those complaints are bullshit. Hollow Knight had all the same problems, so pretty much I can congratulate Team Cherry on consistency, if nothing else. And don't get me wrong, I don't say that Silksong does not have any frustrating moments. Like, this one is one of those where the f do I go kind of game. It's kinda easy to get lost without a map, and unlike other Metroidvania games, it's not enough to just enter an area to get a map. No, first I need to find singing bug, or specific model, or a toilet paper with a drawing of the area. And it's not expensive or anything, no, it's just sometimes it's really hard to find where to get it. And even after I get it, sometimes I just completely forget where do I need to backtrack with my new abilities, just because I'm stupid that way. Secondly, these flying f***s. God, I hate them with passion. Not only they move as fast as you do, and most of them have range attacks, but they also keep running away, which absolutely makes sense, but God, I hate them. And bile water. I sincerely hope that all who are responsible for this area will be fired and will never find a job in game development again. This is the worst area in the game. It looks like shit, literally. Everything is brown and sloppy. And of course there are maggots, disgusting. And it plays like shit. You know what's the more enraging than the slow heal? No heal. And this is exactly what is waiting for you here. And of course it's one of those. Unless you get lucky and find a bench in the middle of it. No, not that one. If you will try to take this one, the game will throw you in the toilet faster than you can say f***. No, you would need to find this one, which is actually secret, otherwise you would need to go through the whole area to the boss. And of course this one is one of those shit bosses that are hard to beat, not because of the boss itself, no, it's because of this diarrhea river. Once you dip your toes into it, you will start to lose your silk, and even if you got all your silk, you wouldn't be able to heal just because instead of that you will just remove maggots. And if you won't remove them, they will slowly eat out your silk. Thrilling. Well, at least the music is good. I think it's one of the most beautiful themes in the whole game actually. Which disappoints me even more, because it was basically used as a toilet soundtrack. But, you know, even after all I said, this is exactly a good game. So, unless you enjoy this kind of gameplay, I don't understand why you even try to play it. And if you find it so hard, why not just install mods? They can change the gameplay to your liking. There are mods that change damage, jump distance, or straight up giving you invincibility. But no, you keep crying. You demand new patches, you demand lower difficulties, you demand reducing damage. I don't get it. Maybe try Fortnite or something, I don't know. Now, which one is better? Is it sorrowful and depressing Hollow Knight? Or is it colorful and happy Silksong? Well, it's easy. The best one is
Buscando